Welcome back. You're watching AIM Agenda. Joining me now is Independent MP Dai Le, as she does every week. Dai, great to see you. There's plenty happening in your neck of the woods, being Canberra and Parliament, I mean. Let's start with the Coalition's new frontbench team. Look, there's a lot to be said about this. We all pretend it's on merit, but we know not all of these appointments are. There's rewards, there's demotions, there's rewards for support, and there's really punishment for the outcome of the last election. There's women in there, but of course, there's not a lot of women to choose from the front bench, and you've even had the likes of Jane Hume demoted. Any thoughts on all of that?
Well, I think last week we talked about, that the split, and everybody talked about the split, and I talked about, let's see where they're going to go with the split. And obviously, first of all, it's great that they've come back together because, as I mentioned, we really need a strong opposition. It's so critical for our democracy to work, to have a good, strong opposition. And as independents, we will play, obviously, a very important role to keep the government accountable with the 93, I think, seats that they've got at the moment, and to ensure that how all the bills, that they'll be pushing through the parliament, because they've got the numbers to do so, to ensure that there are questions going to be asked, and transparency, accountability and integrity in the bills that they'll be pushing through. So it's good, first of all, to see the Nats and the Libs coming together in terms of, when people use the line, it's based on merit. We all know, and I think sometimes that's just a line that leaders use to say it's merit, but really it's their merit-based appointment. It's often based on factions, on numbers, on allegiance with whoever. So it's so complex. Both major parties do that. But the problem with women, obviously for the coalition, is that there are not many women in the party room. So it's probably going to be hard to appoint all roles to all women, because at the end of the day, there probably has some, real issue around in terms of who do you put in there, and it's going to be who they're going to be loyal to, and merit plays a role, but there are not enough women in the coalition room anyway.
Well, you run your own race as an independent. You don't need to worry about any of that. But Dai, I want to talk to you about energy, because one of the first big decisions of this newly re-elected government is a decision to extend the North West Shelf in WA. This is a major gas project, and really says, I think, a lot about how the government approaches the energy system now and how important the transition to net zero, including gas, is. What do you think about that decision and where this Labor government goes on that?
Well, I welcome the decision. I mean, last term I spoke about in the Parliament, in the chamber often, the need for gas to be part of the transition into renewables, because gas plays a very important role, in particular in my electorate of Fowler. Yeah. It's so vital and it's very fundamental to have gas as part of the energy mix. And so it's great that that decision has been made. However, we know that on the East Coast, the issue around gas is still fundamentally flawed, because we're still paying high prices for that, and something has to be done for the East Coast part of Australia. And last week, the energy regulators just talked about the increase in energy bills in New South Wales, I think by 9.1%.
That's right.
So people are going to see an increase in the energy bills in the coming months. So what will the government now do? Now, the government now is moving into their second term. Yeah. They have got the numbers now, so therefore they can't now blame anybody else, but they are in a position to really come up with a solution to address this increasing cost in energy bills. And we're going to move into winter as well. So that is going to be critical for the government. Now, how will that Woodside Petroleum extension, which is great, how will that impact the East Coast? Will that bring the prices down? How will that help families and small businesses in particular?
Probably not at all, but it's all kind of interconnected, which is a complex web at the moment, which I won't explain right now. But Dai, this is a conversation that is not going to go away. As always, appreciate your time.